What's up guys, it's Emily. So today I'm going to be doing a girl talk for you guys about removing toxic people, toxic relationships, whether it's family, friends, significant other, acquaintance, enemy, it doesn't matter, just getting rid of toxic people. I want to give you guys like pointers and like red flags about dealing with toxic people and things like that. And yeah, I've always wanted to do something like this. Like, I want to like cover everything on my girl talks. I feel like, I've been waiting for you guys to let me know down in the comments what type of girl talks you want to hear. And I've been trying to cover ones that a lot of people can relate to, or like, those late nights when you're up thinking at like 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, damn, how do I remove toxic people out of my life? And you just could look up my video and boom, you got your answers right there. So typically, I like to do my girl talks on things that people can relate. So I hope you guys enjoy this girl talk. Leave a like, a comment, and let me know down below what other girl talks you guys want me to do. And let's get this started. So removing toxic people out of your life, whether it's family, friends, acquaintances, enemy, exes, anybody. The first thing I want to point out as a red flag of removing toxic people is the people that are no longer in your life continuously keep coming back, whether it's like an ex-friend, an ex-boyfriend, a family member, things like that. There's a reason that things and arguments and happen during your guys' friendship or during your guys' love or whatever the case is. There's a reason during that time that person is in your life, and there's a reason that that person's no longer in your life. And when a person continuously keeps coming back into your life, now I've been that type of person where I've accepted toxic people and I knew what toxic traits I was dealing with. But when you have a good heart and you continuously let these people back into your life because they know what type of person you are and you know what type of person they are. And you think about all the memories and all this and that. And in the end, guys, to be honest, it's one of the biggest red flags that you guys could deal with when removing toxic people out of your life. It's going to put you in a predicament where it's going to be hard because you guys are going to keep going through the same thing over and over again. And some people change, some people don't. But at the end of the day, there's a reason that person's no longer in your life. So don't keep bringing them back into your life. I've been learning that these last few years with like friendships and family members and just a lot of things. I've learned to distance myself but also remove myself to place where I don't belong. So basically, if I am in a predicament where I don't feel comfortable being your friend anymore, I'm going to remove myself as a person of protecting my happiness and protecting myself. Because if I start seeing like red flags of like past things you start doing, automatically you're gonna be out of my life. I had to learn over the years, and it takes some people a lot of years, a lot of time. Some people are quick to realize, but some people like me are the type to continuously bring people back into their life. And that's like one of the biggest red flags, guys, is stop bringing people back into your life. They were there for that moment to bring you that happiness and that lesson, but they're no longer in your life for a reason. And as lonely as it gets, as all the memories come flooding back into your mind, you got to also think about what happened, of why that person's no longer in your life. Another red flag you guys have to see when dealing with toxic people is manipulative, narcissistic behavior basically. If you guys don't pay attention to certain behaviors, whether it's manipulation, now I've dealt with my fair share of manipulation from several people, and when I was younger, I was so blinded by manipulation, it was insane. And as I got older, I came to realize, like, damn, this is manipulation. This is what this shit is. This is the freaking tea. This is the heat, you know, like, to the tea. So basically, when you're dealing with a manipulative person or somebody that's just, like shows, like, certain behaviors where they know you as a person and they use stuff against you, like your good heart, or they disrespect you, or they're manipulative by saying, like, oh, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Like, if they use something against you, or, like, okay, for instance, if you tell them a secret, or you tell them something so deep that you don't really usually tell to other people, and they use it against you, or they throw it back at your face, that is not a friend. That is a toxic ass person. Let me tell you, because I've had that happen to me. I've had that happen to me where people have thrown stuff in my face, where things that I have done for them, or advice I have given them, or I've tried to be that friend they needed, and they've thrown it back at me, like, oh, you were never that good friend, like, you don't see, I'm not the problem, you're the problem, da-da-da-da. And when they try to say that you're the problem, it's like, basically, they're in denial of, like, what type of person they are. Like, when you're in denial stage of yourself, you have a lot of maturing to do. So that's another thing, is if they show behavior that is toxic, take them out of your life, guys. I'm telling you, it's gonna change you, because when you get used to certain behaviors from people, you kind of embed it in yourself, like, this is how everybody else is to me, you know. So you start gaining, like, trust issues, or, like, start questioning, like, other friendships and things like that, where it could ruin other friendships that are actually really great for you. So when a person is, like, that type of behavior, either keep yourself from a distance from them, have a distant friendship or a distant relationship with them. Now, if it's a significant other, take yourself out of that, because you don't deserve to be treated like that. Nobody deserves to be treated like that in a relationship. But if it's like a friendship or a family member, distance yourself or remove yourself, because it definitely will take a toll on your emotional, physical, and mental health. And I've known from experience what certain behaviors that have took a toll on me. Even, like, when a person puts a lot of issues on you, and then, it's just a lot of arguments. That's another thing. Another red flag that I wanted to tell you guys is arguing a lot. If the two people are arguing a lot, not communicating well, removing each other, like blocking each other, adding each other, blocking each other, adding each other, right there is your own behavior showing that you're being toxic to yourself and to that other person. When it's two people doing it, like whether it's yourself or the other person at the same time, it gets messy, guys. Arguing is a waste of time. Let me tell you, I've got into so many arguments with people that I feel like I've wasted my time and my words with them, and I went back to them and they still haven't learned their lesson. So don't waste your words and arguments and breath with people that are not going to learn their lesson. As much as they tell you, oh, I'll change, oh, I'll do this, oh, this, that, and the third. No, they're not going to change, because they have to work on themselves to make that change. If they haven't worked on themselves to see their bad traits, to see what type of person they are, then they need a lot of work to do for themselves, and they need a lot of healing to do for themselves, whether it's something they've dealt with privately. Some people go through stuff and you know, as friends or family or significant others, they right away they don't tell you, but then they try to like reverse the role on you, like you're the issue. So that's another thing, behavior, like a lot of behavior, either verbal or physical or emotional. A lot of behavior shows in a toxic person. Another thing that with toxic people is them not understanding, like you removing yourself from them. Sorry guys, my mom was calling my name, so I had to stop the video real quick. But basically, if a person's not understanding why you're removing yourself, like if you need to not be in their lives anymore and they're not understanding about that, they need to learn on their own, their behavior, their issues. Like sometimes people really need to realize, like, you can't rely on people to help you through your problems. And it sounds like kind of selfish, but it's not. It's really not. And that's one thing I want to tell you guys, like, as an advice. Don't think you're being selfish for putting yourself first. Because at the end of the day, it's not being selfish. It's to protect yourself, protect your happiness, protect your mental health, protect your emotional health, protect your physical health. When dealing with toxic people, it really could take a toll on you as a person. I've been in several friendships or several relationships with people where I felt like mentally, physically, emotionally drained because of how toxic they are. And if they're not understanding of how you feel, or they're not understanding of like why you no longer gotta, you know, you don't have to explain yourself to no one. That's one thing I want to say also. You do not have to explain yourself to no one of why you're protecting yourself. Because people are too blind to see what type of person they are, and they're very in denial, and like they try to justify a lot of their actions, and some people just are never gonna change and be the person they're meant to be. And because, you know, a lot of people go through things in their lives, whether it's trauma, and nothing, you can never use stuff like that against a person, but it takes time for people to realize these things about themselves, and it takes losing people, and it takes learning lessons to realize, like, damn, like, am I the issue, you know? Another thing about removing toxic people is you have to put your happiness first. I know it's scary to think like, oh my god, I put myself first. Oh my god, I'm putting my happiness first. And I know it seems like, is that even possible? And I've thought for so many years that, like, I had to keep, like, the people that I had in my life, I had to stay. I didn't think about myself. I always put myself second before I put them. I've always put them first, and I always put myself on the back burner, and I said, like, you know, I'm always going to put these people first because that's what friendships are for, that's what family's for, that's what love is for, you know? And in the end, you gotta put yourself first, because at the end of the day, guys, in all reality, you're gonna have to pick yourself up and those pieces up when that person is no longer in your life. You gotta pick up yourself and protect your happiness, because your happiness and everything else that comes with you is important. And I know it sucks when you have to remove people from your life, but if it feels better when they're gone, then you're doing something right for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. Another thing about toxic people, like another red flag I would say, is like, trying to think. Another thing with toxic people, let me see. I've dealt with so much like toxic, manipulative people in my life where I've had to like distance myself from certain people, or like really remove them from my life because they weren't worth fighting for anymore. Like, if, like, that's another thing. If the person doesn't give you the same energy back, if a person doesn't give you the same energy back for fighting for you and loving you the way you love them, it's not worth your time. If they're not giving you the same energy, okay, there's this saying, and I live by this. If they wouldn't cross an ocean for you, how does it go? If they wouldn't cross an ocean for you, they wouldn't even jump over a puddle for you, or something like that. If they wouldn't, I don't know how it goes, but it's something along those lines. Is if a person wouldn't cross the ocean for you, and you would jump over a puddle for them, that just shows right there like what type of person you are. And if they can't show the same energy and the love and the care for you, and you know, typically people, and I hate to say this, but this has happened so many times to me, where people only talk to me when it was convenient on their time. And I had to come to terms with that. I had to realize, like, damn, I was only convenient to you when you were having issues, or when you were having problems, or actually needed help with something. And then when I would reach out to them, that's another toxic behavior, is when you would reach out to them and they'll be like, oh, I'm busy right now, or I'm with this person, or I can't speak right now, I'm gonna nap. But you're like in the midst of crying, or you need like some advice, or you need somebody's help, and they're not there to pick up or be that person, like that go-to person that you thought they were. That's a toxic behavior that you need to you need to like remove yourself out of, and realize like, damn, like this person wouldn't even jump over the ocean for me. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things you can do to remove toxic people. It's just really about trusting the process, and trusting yourself, and trusting like your instincts with your choices. Because I know like making change and making choices, I am not a person that likes change, and I'm not the person to make choices. But I've learned that making choices and putting myself first was the best decision I've ever made. And sometimes, you know, like videos like this, you guys need to hear this, where like you guys need to show like hear like for yourself, like from a video, or like read something to show you like, damn, is this like actual behavior that I'm dealing with? I know I didn't name like crazy behaviors, but if you like the things that I said along this video, if there's anything that like checks off, and like there's certain things that I didn't say, it's because like I'm in the gift of like explaining myself in the video, and I usually forget certain things after, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot to say that. But yeah, put yourself happy, oh my god, that made no sense. Just put yourself first, put your happiness first. And it's okay to remove, even if it's a family member, guys. I know people say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes water is thicker than blood, guys, let me tell you. And I know that sounds silly, but some family members could even cross you in the wrong way. Some friendships could cross you in the wrong way. Some relationships could cross you in the wrong way. Some strangers could cross you in the wrong way. I've dealt with my fair share of complete strangers that I didn't even know that crossed me the wrong way. So, you know, just be a kind human, and just be yourself. If you're a loving, good-hearted person, never change for anyone. Because at the end of the day, there's people out there that still are people like us, where we need those good intentions, those good people to heal these bad people, or these they're not bad people, but these people that need healing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this girl talk. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.